and learning about the radio world all year round. Be an on-air personality, talk show producer, or YouTube, TV, podcast editor. Contact the station at info@irlonestar.com or call the station's message line at 936-647-3776.
Thank you for listening to Lone Star Community Radio. This program was broadcasted and recorded live from the LSCR studios in downtown Conroe, Texas. Lone Star Community Radio is supported by listeners like you. Donate and sponsor today. For more information on getting involved with Lone Star Community Radio, contact us at lscrstudios@gmail.com or visit us online at www.irlonestar.com. That's right. You are listening to Lone Star Community Radio here on irlonestar.com worldwide. Hopefully you downloaded our app on the Google and Apple Store, and also Conroe's FM 104.5, 106.1. You're listening to Lone Star Community Radio, Mornings of Lone Star. We are live on Facebook and YouTube. We have some special guests today. I'm very excited about this because I saw this was coming to town. And I was like, what the heck is this? Jurassic Quest is at the Lone Star Convention Center this weekend, all weekend. Get your tickets. I put the links in the description below. So while you're hearing this conversation, when I talk to these prehistoric people who are from, I don't know what, the plant age or whatever they call it, the dinosaur age, we're going to have it on right here in a second. But before we get into it, check out the links below for tickets and information about Jurassic Quest. That way I can let our guests talk about anything we can talk about the Jurassic period. And we also have another special guest in the arms of Prehistoric Nick. We're going to learn more about that. It's kind of creeping me out. So it's a dinosaur. We have a dinosaur in the studio. Like, let's get real. So in the studio, Jurassic Quest, we have Prehistoric Nick and Lisa, and I can't pronounce your last name. I'm sorry. Tell me your name.
Eliza Marilis.
Eliza Marilis.
Yes.
That's so easy after she tells me 16 times. So we have Eliza Marilis in the studio and Prehistoric Nick. Prehistoric Nick, how are you doing, man?
Oh, I'm great.
Yeah?
So yeah, of course, the real star here is Cammy, who I'm holding here. Cammy is a baby.
Cammy?
Yep, she's a baby Camarasaurus. She's about 6 weeks old. And Camarasauruses are from the Jurassic period.
Okay, hey, Nick, can you get that mic pointed towards you by any chance?
Absolutely.
I think we're trying to get those people. There we go. How about now? Let me try it. Oh, perfect.
Absolutely.
I can hear you. So that's Cammy?
Yep, Cammy. So yeah,
Cammy. What's up, Cammy?
Yeah, so Cammy, for those who, I'm going
to get a better shot of Cammy real quick. I'm going to pull her up.
Yeah, Cammy is a Camarasaurus, which means a type of long neck or sauropod dinosaur. Camarasaurus is actually the most common type of sauropod or long neck found in North America. And so she lived in the Jurassic period, or her family would have lived in the Jurassic period, about 145 million years ago. I think what's really cool is that dinosaurs like T-Rex and Triceratops lived about 66 million years ago. So there's actually more time between Camarasaurus and Stegosaurus versus T-Rex than there's between T-Rex and today.
Okay, so she's a carnivore.
She's a plant eater. She's an
you
herbivore.
say that I was just looking at the screen trying to look at those eyes.
That's all right. Yeah.
Look at that.
Yeah, she really loves salads and fruits, and so I always tell people to hold on to their Apple products.
I like it. Like, one thing I love about dinosaurs is it's 50-50, right? It's like, oh, it could be a plant eater or it could be a man eater. What do we do? Like, you never, because I'm one of those guys who will not know any facts, and I wish I hung out with people who knew the facts, like y'all know, because like, do we run? Are we cool? Just watch the feet? Like, what's going on? Because I always love those scenes in the Jurassic Park movies and stuff like that, where you're like, are they gonna get stepped on or eaten?
Oh well, yeah, and of course, just like any animal, just because it's an herbivore doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be safe or gentle. Hippopotamuses are herbivores, but they're
very aggressive.
Yeah. So that would probably be the true of dinosaurs as well. That just because it's a plant eater doesn't mean mean it would be safe to be around. But that said, this weekend at Jurassic Quest, all of our dinosaurs are very well trained, so they hardly ever eat anybody.
I encourage people who are watching and also listening right now, like, check out, I put links in our YouTube and Facebook videos to exactly what the event is. It is a family-friendly event. It looks huge. Like, you're going to have big dinosaurs there, little dinosaurs there. So it's going to be like an adventure almost. Like, you walk into the Lone Star Convention Center and you're taken back.
You're going on a quest.
Yes, it
Going
sounds
on the
amazing.
Jurassic Quest.
So let's talk about the quest kind of stuff. So tickets are a flat rate, right? Like you can, or is there like other things inside the event that you need to bring more money for, like food or whatever? Or
So there's like different kinds of tickets actually. So price will vary on the type of ticket you get. Because for kids under 12, we recommend the children's VIP ticket, which is going to be all rides included, as well as our exhibit. So we have our exhibit part of the quest, and then we have which is where the fun happens, basically, is the activity side. So that's where you'll see the baby dinosaurs. The raptor training show, we have a full raptor. Her name is JoJo. She's absolutely wonderful. And she participates in the raptor training show, where everyone can become a raptor trainer just like us.
Oh, wow.
At Jurassic Quest. So it's very fun. Lots of bounce houses for anyone who loves to jump. Some fossil digging, an excavation station, some crafts. So there really is like all types of activities for everyone.
It sounds like it's hands-on.
It's very hands-on.
Yeah.
So anyone who loves dinosaurs is going to love it. Anyone who wants to discover about dinosaurs is going to learn a lot, because we included a lot of signage in our exhibit. So anytime you see a dinosaur, you're going to see a sign that explains more about it, where it comes from, what kind of food it eats. And kind of throughout the exhibit, we also have like a QR code, which leads you to Dino 411, which leads you directly to Nick and Park Ranger Marty. And if you have any
That's
like
hilarious.
dinosaur questions or fossil questions, really, these guys know it all. And like it's completely free before you come to the event, after you come to the event, during, anytime you can text them and ask any sort of silly dinosaur question, and I guarantee you they will have an answer.
If it's anything like Nick's opening lines, then I get it. Like it's all educational, and dinosaurs are one of the most fascinating things to learn about, because it's a whole nother world. And I mean, once you start seeing it through, like, say, your eyes, Nick, it's like, oh, this was really a world. It wasn't just like a little section of the planet. It was like the whole world was different.
Oh, absolutely. And, but it still like has connections to the world we live in,
Yeah.
I started call dinosaurs a gateway science, because, kids, a lot of kids love to get obsessed with dinosaurs. There's actually a word in psychology for that. It's a sustained interest.
Yeah.
And studies actually show that kids who have sustained interests, like dinosaurs, for some kids it's things like trains, but dinosaurs is by far one of the most common ones. Kids who have that tend to do better in schools, and you can actually foster that. So by helping to foster love of dinosaurs, you can actually improve their chances in STEM fields and widen their career paths down the road.
Oh, 100%. Especially, I love it. Especially when it comes to getting your hands dirty. Because that's one thing I've kind of, growing up and seeing how dinosaurs are handled, because there's digging for bones, and there's all sorts of just, like, you're getting a microscope and you're looking at stuff. And then especially, like, I would guess the popularity of the movies Jurassic Park and popularity of just any dinosaur movie, really, and that gets kids like, what is that? That's real? People can do that as a job? It's like, yeah, come dig some bones, man.
Yeah. A lot of the
Absolutely.
kids who come to the show tend to, like, most kids are obsessed with dinosaurs, and you hear about dinosaurs, like, from very early on in your life, whether it's just like a dinosaur bib or just like little dino outfits, like it's very early on.
like
Exactly. So you'll always have like a kid with a T-Rex toy, even if they don't spark interest in dinosaurs. It's just that popular. And so it's fun to see the kids come in and, like, they forget that dinosaurs were real.
Yes.
And so they'll stop by, like, the fossil table. We have a real fossil table, which I like to call fossil of dead stuff. Which I got that from y'all. And we have real bones we have real fossils, and the kids, that's where it sinks in, and they can talk to us. We know tons about the fossils that we have here and about the dinosaurs, and they talk to us and, like, slowly understand that, like, the dinosaur behind them was actually walking this earth, and that's where they start getting a little scared. We'll have kids who are scared, but I love to see when it kind of sinks in that, like, yeah, it was real. It's not just a fantasy. It's not just
I know
a toy
that's
that you
what
play
I'm saying.
with.
When, like, as I got older, I was like, this is crazy, because, like, even tomorrow there could be some discovery, and it's like, oh, what we thought was, they were here before that, or that kind of thing.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
And then the evolution too of dinosaurs, because dinosaur, we're probably even using that word incorrectly, because it doesn't just encompass 40,000 years of like animals. It's like probably more than that. They're not just called dinosaurs; they're called something else at this time, and at this time it's called something else. Especially dinosaurs like this that we don't have really anything similar today, but maybe we discovered that they were part of something else. Especially like the birds. The bird thing creeps me out.
Oh yeah, absolutely, and that's the thing is how we classify things today is that animals don't stop being part of the groups that they belong to. So it's people often say that birds evolved from dinosaurs, but that's not exactly true. It's more like birds are the last family of dinosaurs we have left.
Well, the hollow bone thing that creeps me out.
Yeah,
because it's just like that is so unique, and it's only towards these certain types of animals, and they can achieve so much more different like things than we can. And they have to be around for a long time to get that way. I had to imagine.
Oh yeah, absolutely. The dinosaurs have been around for a lot longer than they have been around for since. So the first dinosaurs that we know of date back to about 231 million years ago, give or take. That number is being pushed back. It's
a constant move.
Yeah,
because they discover. I'm telling you, like it's weird. We still haven't discovered everything. So it's like. Every day is different.
Yeah, and the last dinosaurs died out about 66 million years ago. So there's about 165 million years between that, and dinosaurs have only been extinct for about 66 million years. So the Cretaceous period alone is longer than the amount of periods since the end of the Cretaceous period. So if you hit the reset button on the day that the asteroid hit, we'd still be in the Cretaceous period. So like there's not been that much time since dinosaurs went extinct.
That's wonderful. And this event is all weekend for Jurassic Quest. Yeah. So you can buy a 3-day ticket. Like it starts tomorrow?
So we sell tickets per day. So you can buy tickets for on Friday, Saturday, or Sunday.
Okay.
And you can find those tickets at JurassicQuest.com. And anybody who's listening can use promo code Raptor to get 10% off their tickets.
Oh, Raptor. Okay, cool. Yeah, because I believe I put the ticket. Let me see. I know I put location, get ticket. Yeah, I put the ticket link in there for people to go to the Conroe one, because this thing is around the country.
Yeah.
So make sure if you're listening, and make sure it's in your town. So if you're not from Conroe and you're listening and you want to go, make sure you check your town, because we have some listeners around.
We're everywhere. We have 3 shows going at the same time. So Jurassic Quest is in 3 different cities every single weekend of the year. So even if you think you're in a smaller town where things don't come by very often, we'll probably be there. We go everywhere.
Well, that was something I was looking into you guys, and I was really amazed at how many towns you guys visit.
Yeah.
And then also the exhibit. I call it an exhibit or just adventure. Like it really is. Like you're going to be there all day to really experience everything with your kids. Like you're going to be there for this isn't just like one ride and you're done. This is the whole thing. You
can just the exhibit alone. If you really spend time in the exhibit to like learn about each dinosaur, you can spend a good chunk of time just in the exhibit alone and like learning from everything.
There's too many dinosaurs.
Fossils, just like learning about the dinosaurs and seeing them. I mean, some of them are very, very big and impressive. Like it's kind of crazy. And like just staring at them for a second. Honestly, it's kind of a good like.
Oh yeah, I remember the first time we went to the Houston Museum of Natural Science and they had the T-Rex, and I was just like, "That's crazy! Someone put this together. Like this is like an actual thing." And then you start visualizing the meat of it, this thing had meat on it. This thing had skin and eyeballs. Now I'm creeped out. It's like this thing's huge, as big as a house. So I would say if you're a kid and you are near your mom or dad and just be like, Mom, Dad, let's go Jurassic Quest this weekend.
Yeah, and you'd be surprised the amount of people that we get that don't bring kids and who just
want to see dinosaurs.
Super interested in dinosaurs. Like we have some people who come and like don't even know that much about dinosaurs and just like want to see what dinosaurs would look like if they were still around, because we work so closely with paleontologists and like scientists to make them as real as we think they were, and to the detail, so that it's really, you can come and see and as closely as what we think they were like. And a lot of people just come for that and just to see what dinosaurs were like and learn a little bit more and
make science fun.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what we say, is make science fun.
Yeah.
Fun education. is the word we use.
I don't know if that's a
Funducation.
word. I don't know if that's a word.
It's a word at Jurassic Quest that we
Yeah.
made up
Yeah.
to describe our event because fun and education
Yeah.
mixed together.
That's awesome. I like this idea. You guys travel around. So if you're a listener, check out Jurassic Quest. Tickets if you're in Conroe this weekend at the Lone Star Convention Center. It's a huge area, so you can already imagine how big this exhibit's going to be. It's going to be a lot of fun for the kids and for adults too. If you're into dinosaurs, why not? You know.
Exactly.
And well, is there anything else you guys want to cover at all? Like, you know, I know we talked a little bit about the movies are always Jurassic Park is always a big influence on people and dinosaurs. You know, I always like that the butterfly effect from The Sound of Thunder. That was really cool because that was a T-Rex, you know, scaring them, and you know, it's always a T-Rex's fault. It gets a bad rap.
It really is. It's always the T-Rex.
And then you have let's talk pop culture for a minute. So we got T-Rex in Toy Story. He's a big character. Rex,
yeah.
he's
Yeah,
funny.
Rex. Yeah.
And then what else? Can you help me out? Think of other ways dinosaurs. We had Land Before Time, the cartoon, like 1 through 20 or whatever it is.
Yeah. I've lost count of how where we are on that. But yeah, so there's for example, lots of other places too, like Sinclair gas stations. They use dinosaur as their
the brontosaurus.
right.
yeah.
The
So
brontosaurus?
and that's sort of a misnomer because people think fossil fuels dinosaurs. It turns out most oil is actually from plankton, so there's not much. There's probably little to no dinosaur in it. But what's actually really crazy, and I've seen the math done on this. Since we have the water cycle and every drop of water we have has been recycled since early in the Earth's formation, pretty much almost every molecule of water on Earth has been through a dinosaur multiple times. Given how long they lived on Earth, given what we know about how much animals
So I'm
drink.
drinking dinosaur water.
Yeah,
Maybe.
basically old dinosaur pee. Yeah,
I'm okay with that.
yeah,
Whatever makes me stronger.
exactly.
So-
You know, it worked for them.
Yeah, I can't imagine having a dinosaur as a pet. That how much food they eat. Like,
Oh, yeah.
I can't imagine.
That's what I say. You know, the kids who come to the show and see Cammy or Tyson,
Yeah.
we have a baby T-Rex. His name is Tyson, and then we have a baby Triceratops.
he eats like a cow a
named
day.
Trixie. Yeah, so
Yeah.
the kids always say, "Oh, I want to take him home." Like, if you take him home, you got to scoop up dino poop.
Well, like if you remember the scene in the original Jurassic Park where they put the lamb, or I think it was a lamb or whatever
Yeah,
it was,
goat, yeah.
a goat. And I always told my friends, like, the only reason he's chasing them is because that wasn't enough food. If it was enough food, a T-Rex would not be attacking them. He'd be like, cool, and then just walk off because he's not hungry anymore for right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Honestly, like people, I think always make the mistake in Jurassic Park. They think, oh, like it'd be a bad idea to like clone them. I think they need better zoo management. Really, that would
clearly
the whole park.
better electrical fences and
yeah, better backup. Hire more than one IT guy. That's important.
that's important. Well, no, because it's just the one thing I love about dinosaurs is like the wonderful world of the unknown, because it's almost like going down. How deep can we go in the ocean? Like, we don't really know. Let's go check it out, because you're learning something every day. And I bet if there was like some conference every year, it's like, let's learn what we learned this year about dinosaurs. It would blow people's mind how much more we learn every year about that world.
Every day there's
yeah.
something new. There's an article that pops up.
Yeah.
There's a new fossil found in China. Every time we see there's always a fossil found in China. That's new. But
Well, China's pretty big.
there's
and-
they have a lot of fossils.
Why did we have so many here
So
in the United States? There's a lot.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, it really depends on where you are, because certain areas do preserve better. But there are dinosaurs found on literally every continent. They've actually found
I was like, was it Colorado? It's like that kind of straight up to Canada. If you go from like Colorado straight up,
That's Canada.
Along the Rocky Mountains, from Alberta, Canada down. In fact, Alberta, Canada has actually some of the densest bone beds in the world. But so part of that is actually to do with actually a bit of American history. So it's not necessarily that we had more dinosaurs; it's that we've had more time to study them here. So we've found them more, and we've talked about them more. So that dates back to a period in the 1870s to about the 1890s. Called the Bone Wars. So there was
is real?
Yeah. I'm not making this up. So so there were two really prominent paleontologists in the late 19th century, Othniel C. Marsh and Edward Drinker Cope. So
Those are awesome names.
Yeah, these two guys started out as friends. Cope was from I believe the University of Philadelphia, and Marsh was from Yale University, and they both were prestigious scientists until one of them made a mistake. I believe it was Cope described an animal called an elasmosaurus, which is an animal with a very, very long neck. But in his initial paper, he described it as having a short neck and having a very, very long tail. So basically,
he put the head reversed.
He put the head on the wrong end.
He probably didn't know though. Come on, this is the late 1800s.
Yeah. So I think he rushed a little too quick. And so this Marsh points this out publicly. It becomes a bit of contention between them. So they basically start this bitter rivalry. So
I love it.
Both of them, funded by their universities and to a degree their own bank accounts, start putting teams together, going out to the American West, trying to find new fossils. But when they couldn't, and they did discover a lot of animals. In fact, most of the dinosaurs that are, other than T-Rex, most of the really famous dinosaurs like Triceratops, Stegosaurus, Allosaurus, Brontosaurus, Apatosaurus were all found in this period. So like the real big household names. But they at certain points though, if they couldn't remove a fossil from a quarry before the end of the digging season, they would sometimes dynamite them. They would resort to sabotage. Gunfights happened.
I like this.
Yeah. So
this is just because two rich dudes didn't like each other?
Basically, yeah. And they spent their entire careers trying to besmirch each other, start rumors about each other.
What was it like 10 years ago, less than 10 years, somewhere up near Alaska, this dude started finding bones of woolly mammoths, and it's just like, it became the point where he found so many, he just started selling them. He was just like, he's like, when I first discovered it, I just wanted to like donate it. But then after you find your 400th tusk, it's like, can we just make some cool stuff out of it, I guess? Like, just sell it, like pipes or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, especially up north, like the Alaskan permafrost. There's a lot of stuff coming out of there between Alaska, Canada.
Yeah, this
and
guy
Russia.
was like, I forgot, he either inherited a bunch of land through a company and no one wanted to do anything with it, so he's like, let's just go check it out because he hunted and stuff. And so he'd always bring people hunting and fishing there, and then all of a sudden they started to discover, just like, what's that?
Out of nowhere,
and then they started, and then he told the local museum or local university, and they came out, and then it became this huge, like,
dig site.
And he was just like, what do you do with all this stuff? Because it's all the same. It's not like we discovered a new dinosaur. It's just he literally talked about how many tusks he has. He's like, I don't know what to do with them. Like, I could start giving them out to my neighbors. Like, here you go. You want a tusk? You want a tusk?
That's the coolest. Can you imagine your neighbor just coming out to you and be like, hey?
Oh yeah.
Here you go.
Oh yeah, and there's certain places where mammoths lived a long time after dinosaurs.
Oh yeah, but it's still the con. Like, to me, it's just the wonder.
Oh, absolutely.
You're like, because like, okay, let me ask you this. So the Triceratops is such a neat animal. Is that face of bone all the way from the top to the bottom? So when they were digging, they found this plate, like a giant face.
Yeah. Well, I think the very first specimens were found. They were kind of shattered.
Yeah.
And actually, the first specimens that they found, I think it was actually of those two scientists mentioned. Cope, I believe, was the one who found the first ones, or at least his men did. But he just found he had some horns to work with, and he actually initially thought they belonged to some sort of extinct bison. And it wasn't until like they found the rest of the skull they started realizing, oh, this is a reptile. And at that point, they didn't really know of many reptiles that had horns like that. So
that was big. I mean, it could get big.
Yeah. Triceratops was a huge animal.
And I was like, man, can you imagine just finding just the face? I'd be like, what is this? This thing is giant.
Yeah.
And because like to me, when you have I would call it like the bird-like dinosaurs is probably not the right way. Like the T-Rex, it's like a puzzle. If you find that, like, it's not going to be perfect. It's not going to be just laid down in the dirt and it gets buried.
So it's so interesting that you say that. We have this fossil called the Coelophysis, and it actually was found exactly put together in I think it's New Mexico.
Well, is it? So how big is it?
It's actually not that.
Yeah,
big.
yeah. Coelophysis is about roughly 6 feet long, give or take.
That's pretty big.
Yeah,
That's big.
It's pretty big.
I'm thinking like, it's as big as a plate. But
yeah. Well, so
that's not that, but 6 feet big.
yeah,
All right.
yeah. So
To me,
we
it's
do.
big.
It's
yeah,
pretty big.
Yeah. We do find articulated dinosaurs sometimes. More commonly, you do find them disarticulated, like the bones
Yeah.
scattered about.
That's what I'm saying. So it's like,
But
imagine, because that T-Rex is so big, and it's like,
Yeah.
all right, there's stuff everywhere here, guys. We got to figure this out, especially with tailbones. Tailbones are whack.
Yeah.
It's just there's so many little pieces to that. But then when you find a Triceratops head and horn, you're like, all right, what is this? Is this a Hydra? Like, what is this?
Well, and like if you find a bone, like if you see we have a Triceratops tooth at the table.
Oh my gosh.
And if you found that, if you were hiking and found that, you would have no idea how like that's a Triceratops tooth. Like that is not the first thing that comes to your mind
No.
if you find a bone and you're like, oh, this has like a pretty cool shape, and it's like a Triceratops tooth. No, it looks literally like a rock. But from what I had heard was that to find out if it's a fossil, you have to lick it, and if it sticks to your tongue, then it's a fossil. But we have
because
like
the powder.
Bone is porous.
Yeah.
So a lot of times when you find fossilized bones, it looks like a rock, but when you stick it to your tongue, like it'll sort of absorb the moisture. So it basically it'll stick to your tongue. That's sort of the trick that paleontologists use to see
Isn't
if
that
it's a
cool?
rock
It's a little
or
creepy.
But we have
Yeah.
I
like it.
a poop fossil. Can
And
you
you're
imagine
licking
someone like
It's a
licked
coprolite,
the
yeah.
poop? Yeah, coprolite. Someone licked the poop and like had dinosaur poop.
I mean,
stuck
people
to
are into this stuff, so I mean, you got to do the tests. You got to do the test.
You gotta lick it.
yes, science really.
Yeah.
You know, I've heard somebody I've heard somebody say that science is mankind or humankind using our 5 senses to explore the universe. So taste is one of those senses.
Yeah. I wonder what dinosaur tastes like.
I've actually wondered that.
That's
like,
actually
if you
okay.
eat dino.
So
I'd eat
that's
it.
actually a really good question. So, like I said before, birds are technically theropod dinosaurs. So theropods are the family.
Birds are good.
Birds are technically they belong to the same family that T-Rex belong to, and that means that
Do alligators belong?
so
to
alligators.
interrupt you.
No. That's a great question though. So alligators, their ancestors, the crocodilians, they split off before the first dinosaurs became dinosaurs.
They look like dinosaurs. to me.
Yeah, they definitely do. They are. So if you go further down the family tree, dinosaurs belong to a bigger group called archosaurs, and crocodiles do belong to the archosaur group. But so I think what's kind of crazy is that chickens are a type of dinosaur. So that means
Yeah.
if your kids have dinosaur-shaped chicken nuggets, those are dinosaurs we took and we shaped
like
into
it.
other dinosaurs.
I mean, I feel like owls would be dinosaurs too, because owls are just so
Owls?
creepy.
Oh
Really?
yeah, in terms of how they look, yeah. And
You ever seen like a featherless owl?
No.
Oh, yeah,
A
absolutely,
featherless-
yeah.
It's
does
the
that
weirdest.
exist?
Oh yeah, and like
well, I mean, once they're plucked, yeah.
yeah,
Oh, okay. I was gonna
and
say
they're
like.
born when they're born too, but like,
Gotcha.
Yeah, yeah.
but they're creepy.
But
And
it is interesting that you bring up the alligator though. There's a dinosaur called Desmatosuchus. Am I saying that right?
It's technically not a dinosaur, but yes, it is.
It looks
yeah.
exactly like an alligator.
what do you mean not a dinosaur?
So yeah, there are yeah. So like I said, it really depends on what they biologically what they categorize as. So dinosaurs are basically anything that derived from the earliest dinosaurs. Or there's a few traits that.
Is it a period we're talking about?
Or it has more to do with biological lineage.
Okay.
So so the first dinosaurs show up in the mid-Triassic period. So that's so the Triassic is about 251 to 201 million years ago.
I'm fact checking you now.
Oh yeah. Go ahead. By all means, and I'm not immune to I'm not immune from mistakes. So yeah, but yes, so dinosaurs basically all derive from that lineage. Desmatosuchus has, while they lived in the Triassic period with dinosaurs, they did have a different branch. But dinosaurs basically share one feature that they all have is they have what's called a perforated acetabulum.
Okay, so it is a biological thing because
Yeah.
in my mind there were so many living things going
Oh
on
yeah,
there.
yeah. There were other
And
animals at
it's
the same
like-
time as dinosaurs.
yeah,
We all call them.
We all call them dinosaurs. That's like
Yeah.
as I just assumed. But like no, you're right. Like now I'm thinking of it as like, oh, there might actually have been like a dog version of a dog at that time, like a wolf or
I mean,
whatever.
it's like the birds, like the pteranodon, like all the pterosaurs, Quetzalcoatlus, all of those. They're not actual dinosaurs. They're flying reptiles.
Yeah.
They're not technically a dinosaur. Just like the
But everyone calls everything dinosaurs because it's
exactly.
from
Yeah,
like
yeah,
XYZ
it,
period.
it is a really convenient shorthand. So like,
Those,
I kind of
stupid kids.
it's all the kids.
It's
huh?
all like, and the stupid teachers teaching me this. You know, I'm just kidding. That's what's so amazing. That's why I want to go check out the event this
Yeah.
weekend to learn all this stuff.
Absolutely.
Because there's too much, and it's like you have all weekend to learn as much as possible.
And if you
So-
like underwater stuff at our fossil table,
I
know
get-
a lot of the
I get
kids
creeped out. I get
the
creeped
kids
out in the
love
water.
like the megalodon. We have this real megalodon tooth, and it's
That's
about this. It's
that's
so
the
big.
alligator looking one.
no,
Yeah,
so
a
Megalodon.
shark.
Yeah, Megalodon is a shark.
Huge shark.
So yeah, so
Oh
it's
yeah, they made a stupid movie over that.
yes, yeah,
called the
yeah,
Meg. Now
yeah.
I'm getting
Yeah.
you now.
Yes. So Megalodon again lived after dinosaurs, but it would have hunted whales, and
That's how big it is.
Yeah.
Exactly. Imagine that.
That's awesome. You have a tooth though. It's
yeah, and that's
one of many that was in a mouth that
Oh.
could eat all of you in one bite.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. They had a couple hundred teeth in their mouth, and yeah, definitely could have fit a person in there one bite.
Well, let me ask you this because the neat thing about I would say Jurassic Quest in general is it's just this fun in science, and it doesn't just stop with one type of science. Like it's not just dinosaurs. It goes basically. What was that study even called? The study of the past? Or archaeology or
paleontology?
Paleontology.
Although archaeology though they do sometimes overlap. Archaeology is the study of ancient people and what people did. There is a little bit of overlap with people who there are sites where you have like mammoths that were butchered by early people. So sometimes you have both the same site, but in terms of dinosaurs, it's paleontology, which is basically the study of ancient life on Earth.
So this thing is just pure education and fun, all in one place.
exactly.
Absolutely.
And you have tickets, and you have different levels of tickets.
Yeah. So either you can do just the standard ticket,
Yeah.
or you can do for kids under 12, which is what we recommend. Is the bracelet ticket? What does that call it? Is a VIP.
They get to just go anywhere.
VIP kids, and that they get to do all the activities. So the bounce houses, we have some fun dinosaur themed
Get them
bounce
tired.
houses, some jeeps, some fossil digging. We have a excavation site, which I think is like the coolest thing we have at the.
Yeah, I always
at the
wondered why
Quest.
they never made like an operation style board game, but for excavation. So you had to be like really careful to get the bone out without, bzzz, like
Oh, nice.
See, I've always felt like that'd be a cool game. I'd like that
is
game.
Actually, that is a cool thing.
That's a
Don't
good-
break
good
the
idea.
fossil type
Yeah,
thing.
that's. I mean, well, it's so funny where it's like you're digging for bones, and you're like you don't know how hard they are or how
Yeah.
sensitive it is, and you're like, and then I don't know if you've ever seen this tool they do where they do digging for around electrical equipment, and it's just water.
Yeah.
And so I was like, so I wonder if that's what they do if they're really digging and they don't want to disrupt the bone, but they got to dig.
Yeah.
And
So actually, when paleontologists do dig dinosaur fossil or a new fossil out of the ground, so lots of times they won't even remove it from the dirt directly. What they'll usually do is dig a trench around the fossil, cover that. So once they sort of have a little trench surrounding a little moat, sort of.
Yeah.
They'll cover the entire fossil with burlap and then plaster, sort of make a jacket over it. Dig down further, like sort of mushroom it off, and then like dig underneath it, and then break that off, flip it upside down. You plaster that side. Now you have the entire rock that's encased. So then they'll bring it back to the lab,
Oh
and at
my
the lab,
gosh.
that's where they actually
Dude,
take it out
that's
of the rock.
crazy.
Because I mean, the thing is that like it's not just about the bones themselves or the actual pieces; it's about their location in relation to each other.
Yeah.
So it's important. So
Even the dirt's important.
absolutely, yeah. There's sometimes you have microfossils. So in some cases, even things like plant pollen can fossilize. So that's stuff you wouldn't see in the field, but you might be able to see under a microscope in the lab.
That's amazing. You can learn a lot this weekend, guys.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
absolutely.
So
For
I
sure.
want to remind the listener that you can get tickets in the links below. I'll post it after the interview again. Just check it out. This thing is a lot bigger than what we're talking because we're just talking about it, but you got to see it. Like
Yeah.
you got to check out the website. You'll see what we're talking about. It's a lot. It seems kind of crazy. If I was like 5 years old, I'd be flipping out.
Oh,
absolutely.
they do. Like when they come in and they see like because usually the first thing you see is the big dinosaur when you come in, and like that wow factor really sets in. Like the kids, their jaws will drop to the
that's
floor.
what I'm saying. Like that
and
stuff's
it's like jumping upside down, like super excited.
Yeah.
And then get all of that energy out on the bounce houses, and then I can assure the parents when you get home, your kids are gonna have a really good sleep.
I like it. So let's do this for the parents who are listening. Let's tell them what to expect. So they get tickets online.
Yeah.
You can pre-order them. Can I get tickets at the door?
We do sell tickets at the door if we don't sell out. So in the event of a sellout, we can only take people who have online tickets.
Okay.
That's
So
why online is better because
you're guaranteed.
You're guaranteed,
And-
and you can put in the code Raptor and get a cheaper ticket.
Yes, so they get Raptor online, Jurassic Quest. So when I get there, it's going to be the like the whole exhibit and everything. Now, food and drinks. What's the situation? Because I know the convention center has a commissary.
So that's going to be with the convention center.
Okay.
We as a company do not bring any food or beverage.
No,
So that's
well,
going to be like
you don't want to have
the
food around the
concessions.
dinosaurs.
I know we don't have any dinosaur bites, but
Yeah.
so that's all with the venue and what they're planned for the weekend is.
Yeah, I just want to because parents, you never know. They're like, "Oh, my kid wants a water or whatever."
Can usually
So.
like check on the website
Yeah.
what the venue rules are, but there's
Parking's
always,
really easy around there. You usually don't have to pay for parking there, so that's nice.
fine.
Yeah. And if there's any questions just about like the venue, which are really good questions, make sure to check out the venue website.
Yeah,
Venue
Lone
website.
Star Convention Center, guys. That's
Yeah.
where I'll put that link in there too, just so people can see the location. Because you guys are just visiting for the weekend, and
Yeah.
hopefully y'all will return.
Hopefully.
absolutely.
We love being at our home base.
Yeah.
It's nice. It feels like home for Jurassic Quest. It's nice we have a lot of people that come out to visit us and
I talked to you on the phone for like 5 years. Now I get to see
yeah,
you.
exactly. No, it is really fun, and we're touring Texas a little. We were kind of all over the place, so it's good to be down here. And
Well, thank you guys so much for coming in. And is it Cammie, right? Cammie?
Yep, Cammie.
Cammie, you be safe this weekend. Don't let people give you a hard time. And if people give you a hard time, direct them to me, okay? So, guys, we've been talking Jurassic Quest here. That's happening all weekend at the Lone Star Convention Center. Get your tickets today. It's family friendly. Or if you're an adult interested in science and paleontology and dinosaurs and all that kind of good stuff, you got a lot to learn this weekend at Jurassic Quest. We're going to get back to the music after the station break. You're listening to Mornings of Lone Star.